We are coming to you live from the Republic Broadcasting Network, where you can handle the truth. Good evening from Boston, Massachusetts. My name is Frank Allen. Tonight, we discuss the threat of an EMP attack on the United States. You can call in and ask a question at 800-313-9443 or listen at 605-313-0163. Our newsletter is free, and you can receive a copy by writing Frank at targetedmassachusetts.org. In the subject line, type newsletter, or you can visit our site at targetedmassachusetts.org. And in the navigation, go to contact information. Please fill in your name, your email address, cell number, and a short message. Or you can call me in the U.S. at 1-508-857-8334. Targeted Massachusetts Northeast Conference airs Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern. By phone, 515-604-9715. Access code 708922. ID targeted. If you'd like to join us by computer, in your address bar, type freeconferencecall.com/wall/targeted. Targeted Justice Protest 2019 occurs October the 18th through the 22nd in Washington, D.C. Targeted Justice is hosting a rally and protest event in our nation's capital. Registration fee is $35 and includes a free t-shirt. We encourage you to request a 5-minute audience with your congressman. You will need to make a request several weeks in advance. Make the request through your congressman's website and ask for an appointment on October the 21st or the 22nd. The website is as follows: https://www.house.gov/representatives. Okay, one of the reasons that I wanted to bring up EMP, besides all of the emails and texts, is the fact that people have been confusing their attacks and calling them EMP attacks. Now, electromagnetic pulse is very, very different. There is only one pulse, unless you have a sustained pulse unit. So that's basically the difference. A strike coming from a satellite is going to be a signal at a designated frequency. The frequency being the distance between the pulses. I hope that answers your questions. The White House is taking this potential threat very seriously. On March 26th, President Trump issued an executive order on coordinating national resilience to electromagnetic pulses. This is in an effort to assess the risks of such an attack to critical U.S. infrastructure. Preliminary studies indicate that a catastrophic EMP event could cripple the U.S. economy and its military. Former Israeli Defense Force Major General Isaac Ben, cybersecurity advisor to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, summed it up in a single sentence. If you want to hit a country severely, you hit its power and water supplies. He also noted, with technology, you can do this without firing a single shot. Keith Harary serves as a strategic and behavioral consultant, working on the development of a coordinated national response to the imminent threat of EMP, pandemic, and related extreme disaster scenarios. He is an emergency response incident commander with CDS in Houston, Texas. He serves on the board of Diesel Cognitive and is a member of the EMP Special Interest Group in InfraGard, which is a partnership between the FBI and the private sector, focused on critical infrastructure protection. Now, during a classic EMP strike, you might find your car dying on the freeway, while other vehicles around you lose control and crash. You might see the lights going out in your city or glimpse an airplane falling out of the sky. You've been in blackout situations before, but this one is different somehow. In critical facilities across the country, experts predict that it is only a matter of time before the electrical infrastructure holding society together undergoes catastrophic failure. According to the most recent report of the United States Congressional Commission appointed to assess the risk, published in July of 2017, we face the threat of a long-lasting disruption and damage to everything from power and clean water to electronic banking. That's kind of a short list. Included first responder services and functioning hospitals. Until now, such a dire prediction has typically been associated with only the most extreme doomsday true believers. But William Graham, the former chairperson of the Congressional Electromagnetic Pulse Commission, says that in this case, they could be right. There are a couple of differences in EMP strikes, and I will try and clarify. In the broadcast sense, an EMP is a sudden burst of extreme electromagnetic interference that causes systems using electricity, especially devices controlled by chips or computers, to fail when the load gets too high. Any computer motherboards, the chips of which split in half crack, and you start seeing green smoke. EMPs come in three basic varieties, including a ground level or high altitude EMP released by a nuclear burst that could potentially impact power lines, transformers, and other critical devices. Drive-by EMPs created by high-powered microwave weapons that could silently incapacitate equipment from hundreds of yards away. And lastly, a coronal mass ejections, or CMEs, resulting from solar storms that could hit and interfere with the magnetic sphere surrounding the Earth, bringing down the grid that powers electronic devices, defining our contemporary way of life. According to the 2017 report, Russia, China, and North Korea could already have these weapons under wraps. And as of 2019, this is true. And CMEs from solar storms are like metaphorical magnetic earthquakes. They vary in intensity from relatively harmless ripples all the way to a potential big one that could take down a nation's grid within minutes, creating widespread destruction that would take years to repair. What they don't tell you here is the number of years. We are 300 million people strong here in the U.S. They say that it will take 30 years to repair the damage. The reasoning is, even though you have fresh components that you can install, they have already been corrupted by the EMP strike. Anything with a copper coil in it or a copper wire is going down, including generators that you have in the past depended on for power during the winter when you've had lines down. They will not work. This electrical meltdown, as we call it, cannot really be averted. In the most widespread and catastrophic EMP scenario, even motorized vehicles that aren't damaged will be impacted by the lack of functioning fuel stations, as gasoline stops flowing to and from the pumps. With regular deliveries interrupted by the lack of fuel and power, major urban populations will confront empty grocery shelves and a complete breakdown in essential services, from firefighting to garbage collection, in a matter of days. Like an earthquake, the extent and nature of the damage from an EMP will depend on its intensity and location, as well as its altitude and range. The more intense and higher altitude the pulse, the more widespread the likely damage. With some bursts more likely to damage long electrical and telephone lines, transformers, and others extending their impact to localized electronic devices and systems. But EMPs do not necessarily behave in ways that are entirely predictable. For example, a local ground-level EMP burst could enter the underground grid and travel, potentially damaging a crucial transformer and other equipment kilometers away. The technology that creates the interwoven fabric of our modern lives also makes us vulnerable to the reverberating impact of the potential interruption. The 1965 Northeast blackout that left 30 million people without power occurred because of a transmission line relay that was improperly set. 50-cent part. The 2003 Northeast blackout, affecting 50 million people, was reportedly tripped by a single point of failure when a tree branch touched a power line. The 1977 New York City blackout was caused by two circuit breakers tripping when lightning struck a substation. There are many similar examples, but suffice to say, a nuclear-triggered EMP would cause millions of critical failure points across the system. As the EMP Commission concluded in 2004, even low-yield nuclear weapons detonated at an altitude of 30 kilometers could create extensive damage, while a detonation at 300 kilometers could affect the entire continental U.S. and have a catastrophic impact on the nation. In behind-the-scenes emergency meetings and discussions that are taking place among informed government and private industry experts in infrastructure-related engineering, information technology, pandemic, outbreaks, law enforcement, logistics. Okay, folks, we have to go to commercial. Thank you. My name is Frank Hill.
As a listener of RBN, you're surely concerned about being informed and being ready for whatever may come. Please consider the following questionnaire as a soul-jarring wake-up call. If you answer no to more than two of these following questions, you probably aren't going to make it through any major disruption in our country. The questions were compiled by people that have been there. Are you really ready? Do you own your own firearm for the primary defense and protection of you and your loved ones? Have you ever been professionally trained to stand against life-threatening behavior? Have you ever practiced enough to fire 500 rounds during a 2 to 4 day time frame, day and night? Can you load, unload, fire, and clear a jam in total darkness? Have all the adults in your household been professionally trained? Are you, life and death, comfortable with your abilities with pistol, revolver, shotgun, and rifle? Are you aware that everything that you do to prepare for an emergency is a waste of time, money, and energy? if you haven't honed your abilities to their highest level to protect and keep what you have? Do you have the repair parts that will most likely be needed for each of your firearm, and do you have the ability to install those parts? Could you completely clean every firearm you own? Are you aware that your body won't go where your mind hasn't been? In other words, without proper training, followed by regular practice, you probably will not win a gunfight. Well, how did you measure up? Take the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to start correcting your deficiencies by receiving your Commander Lifetime Membership with Front Sight Firearms Training Facility. A one-time donation to RBN for $500 will give you a Commander Lifetime Membership at Front Sight as a tremendously huge thank you bonus. See details on RBN's webpage to make it happen. The clock is ticking. You had better be ready before it happens.
Tired of being lied to by mass media? It's growing more and more apparent today that news is received less and less through standard media outlets. Even with a growing audience every day, RBN is beginning to direct more efforts into social media. Social media and the use of the internet is fast becoming the primary source of people for news, regardless of demographic. RBN has set out to provide some of the best news on the internet through republicbroadcasting.org, and also has begun to use the tools to our advantage by way of social media. Republic Broadcasting is now operating a Facebook page to function as yet another avenue to have our collective voice reach new audiences across not only America, but across the globe as well. The Facebook page features not only news, but also an RBN player to listen to our broadcasts. Get involved by visiting facebook.com/Republic Broadcasting and liking our page and share it with your friends and family, because you can handle the truth.
Broadcasting Network. Welcome back. This is the network where you can handle the truth. Good evening from Boston, Massachusetts. My name is Frank Allen. Once again, welcome back. Tonight, we are discussing the threat of an EMP attack on the United States. Call in and ask a question at 800-313-9443, or you can just listen at 605-313-0163. Our newsletter is free, and you can receive a copy by writing Frank at targetedmassachusetts.org. In the subject line, type newsletter. Or you can visit our site at targetedmassachusetts.org. And in the navigation, go to contact information. Please fill in your name, email address, and cell number. Or call me in the U.S. at 1-508-857-8334. Targeted Massachusetts Northeast Conference airs Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern. By phone, 515-604-9715. Access code 708922. ID targeted. If you'd like to join us by computer, in your address bar, type freeconferencecall.com/wall/targeted. Targeted Protest 2019, October the 28th through the 22nd in Washington, D.C. Targeted Justice is hosting a rally and protest event in our nation's capital. Registration fee is $35 and includes a free t-shirt. Please get this registration completed as quickly as you can so that we can ascertain how many people we need to plan for. We encourage you to request also a 5-minute meeting with your congressman. You will need to make a request several weeks in advance. So keep in mind that several weeks in advance is coming up very shortly. Make the request through your congressman's website and ask for an appointment on October the 21st or the 22nd. The website address is as follows: https://www.house.gov/representatives. Okay, another reason that I wanted to bring up an EMP strike is the fact that many targets in the community are writing and texting and calling saying that they are getting an EMP strike or they're being attacked by EMP. I just wanted to explain that an EMP strike is one wave. That's all. It's enough, but it's one wave. And it will not hurt people in any way. The aftermath will, but the wave will not harm you. However, satellites, that's where you should look to. Satellite weaponry is trained on us and is so sophisticated that it can pick you out in a crowd of 50,000 people with no problem whatsoever. But to get back to our topic, we have experts in government and private industry, experts in infrastructure-related engineering, information technology, pandemic, outbreaks, law enforcement, logistics, psychology. Okay, folks, we have another commercial. Thank you for listening.
You are tuned in to the Republic Broadcasting Network. Visit our website by going to republicbroadcasting.org.
It's happening, ladies and gentlemen. We here at RBN are working with Front Sight Firearms Training Institute to bring our audience the best in combat, tactical, and defensive firearms training. Whether you're a private citizen who is new to firearms, or you have a concealed weapon permit and want a level of training that surpasses what you've received from your local gun range, Front Sight provides priceless education and skills taught by seasoned law enforcement, military, and private citizen instructors to levels that far exceed law enforcement and military standard. With nearly 1 million responsible citizens trained from every town, city, and state from across the United States, Front Sight has bolstered the Patriot movement to a whole new level. Contact Dan Sutterfield by phone at 573-762-2356 or 573-465-2356 or shoot him an email at domedan, DOMEDAN, at hotmail.com. This is a limited time opportunity. Don't miss it.
Don't regret growing old. It's a privilege denied to many. Heart disease is taking our youth from us. Young people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond are dying needlessly. One of the hardest messages I've ever had to deliver is to convince people that something natural like Extendivite should be taken as a preventative measure. I'm sure you heard, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Extendivite is that ounce. Take Extendivite for 1 year and see what your doctor has to say and how much better you feel. Herbs take time to address the problem. It took years of life to have a problem. Give Extendivite 1 year to fix the problem. Don't wait until it's too late. Call 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com or visit us on Amazon.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Homeowners, are you in foreclosure, expecting to be served with a foreclosure lawsuit, or suspect your lender has coerced you into an illegal mortgage transaction? A huge number of mortgages made in the last 10 years have legal issues and are possibly defective. State laws and the U.S. Supreme Court have upheld that defective mortgage documents are grounds for foreclosure defense and for counterclaims in favor of the homeowner. If your mortgage has been sold or assigned since closing the loan, it may be defective and you may be paying the wrong party, and the lender may not have standing or the right to foreclose or collect payments under the law. If you would like to know if your mortgage is legal or not, or know if you are paying the right party, we can help. Our initial consultations are free of charge. We are not attorneys. We are legal researchers and work closely with experienced lawyers who know how to help you find the evidence to help you keep your home. Call toll-free 1-855-2-KEEP-IT. That's 1-855-2-KEEP-IT today.
We are coming to you live once again from the Republic Broadcasting Network, where you can handle the truth. Once again, good evening from Boston, Massachusetts. My name is Frank Allen. Tonight, we discuss the threat of an EMP attack on the United States. In case you've just tuned in, you can call in and ask a question at 800-313-9443, or you can listen at 605-313-0163. Our newsletter is free, and you can receive a copy by writing Frank at targetedmassachusetts.org. In the subject line, type newsletter, or visit our site at targetedmassachusetts.org. And in the navigation, go to Contact Information. Please fill in your name, email address, and cell number, or call me in the U.S. at 1-508-857-8334. Targeted Massachusetts Northeast Conference airs Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern. Access by phone 515-604-9715. Access code 708922. ID Targeted. If you'd like to join us by computer, go to your address bar and type freeconferencecall.com/wall/targeted. Targeted Protest 2019, October the 18th through the 22nd, Washington, D.C. Targeted Justice is hosting a rally and protest event in our nation's capital. Registration fee is $35 and includes a free t-shirt. We encourage you to get your registration completed so that we can have an idea how many people to expect. We encourage you as well to request a 5-minute meeting with your congressman. You will need to make a request several weeks in advance. Make the request through your congressman's website and ask for an appointment on October the 21st or the 22nd. The website address is as follows: https://www.house.gov/representatives. Okay, we are right in the middle of speaking of an EMP strike on the United States. So, with time running out on this hour, I'm going to get right to it. If we're lucky, the coming meltdown might be less than apocalyptic. It might be far off enough that we still have time to mitigate the worst possible impact. But more likely than not, the disaster will be on us before we can fully prepare. The more we do in each community right now, the more able we will be to help ourselves and our neighbors. This could happen as quickly as switching off the lights for the evening. It is one thing to confront a major disaster, such as a wildfire, hurricane, earthquake, or flood, and be able to mobilize critical regional resources to converge on the crisis. Such disasters benefit from a phenomenon referred to as the edge effect, in which neighboring localities and states are able to provide recovery assistance. It is another to be hit by simultaneous disasters, nation or even worldwide, if it was caused by the sun. Imagine what will happen if the kinds of extreme western wildfires the U.S. has recently encountered are left to explode because there is no way to put them out. Imagine Hurricane Katrina, Sandy, or Michael making landfall with no way to prepare, escape, warn, or respond. If dehydration, starvation, disease, and environmental threats don't kill most of us relatively quickly, we are likely to turn on each other. This is all human nature. Some recent disasters, such as the hurricanes hitting Texas and Florida, have shown people rallying together to help each other prevail. And yet we still encounter all too frequent examples of road rage and similar primitive behavior, even when life is proceeding as usual. In behind-the-scenes projections, some experts predict that if such a critical meltdown of infrastructure expands beyond regional containment, anywhere from 60 to 90% of the U.S. population will be dead within roughly the first 11 months. While that prediction might appear extreme, it could quite conceivably be optimistic. In his 2008 testimony to the U.S. House of Representatives on the threat posed by an EMP attack, Mr. Graham surmised the calculation, stating, "We don't have experience with losing the infrastructure in a country with 300 million people, most of whom don't live in such a way that provides for their own food and other needs. We can go back to an era when people did live this way. 10% could become 30 million people. And that is probably the range where we could survive as a basically rural economy. There is another threat that has not been brought up yet. And that's the fact that we have, I believe, I can't remember the figure off the top of my head. I believe it's like 99 something nuclear power plants that are actually a danger in themselves. Because once the system frags and the facility shuts down, it needs diesel generators to supply electricity to the pumps to cool the reactor's core. They have diesel fuel on site to last 3 months. Now, if changes are not made in the trucks that would bring diesel fuel, we are going to have meltdown after meltdown after meltdown, and it's going to make Fukushima look like fireworks. So this is something to consider as well. So we have to work at neighborhood levels, in touch with your authorities, to find out how you can harden your car, perhaps, to prevent against its loss, and how your neighborhood gas station might harden its pumps and facility so that it will function. Because once this happens, all this planning is too late. Near Annapolis, Maryland, the focus is on hardening critical systems against EMPs and developing local microgrids that will function independently, even in worst-case scenarios. In a point raised by my colleague and leading EMP systems integrator, Charles Manto of EAN Safeguarding, even 10% of the country's critical infrastructure could potentially secure as much as 85% of the economy. I don't know how. At Diesel Cognitive in Houston, Texas, the focus is on developing systems to parse and pattern potentially threatening communications. If an electrical meltdown looms, how can we avert disaster? Languages and sources in anticipation of a possible malevolent incursion, and ultimately utilizing artificial intelligence and other technology to move vital data from vulnerable systems to EMP resilient backups in a hardened cloud. Other companies such as CDS, also in Houston, Texas, are focused on providing basic emergency social, remedial, and medical services. These unsung heroes and interdisciplinary, losing my voice, group of colleagues are working behind the scenes to develop effective methods to avert or at least help to mitigate the crisis. The best case scenario, these efforts will succeed and contemporary society will power on. Based on the totality of available data, said the report from the Air Force's Air University and provided to Secrets, an electromagnetic spectrum attack may be a threat to the United States democracy and the world order as we back our dollar. That's a joke. Excuse me. The report, titled Electromagnetic Defense Task Force, and the product of a mostly classified summit of officials from 40 agencies just outside of Washington earlier this year, is a forceful call for a new focus on preparing for either an enemy EMP attack or a natural hit, such as I mentioned, a solar storm. While it is focused on the devastating impact an EMP hit would have on the military, it appears to support a congressional warning, again, that up to 90% of the population on the East Coast would die in a year of an attack that would dismantle or interfere with electricity, transportation, food processing, and healthcare. Imagine a tale of two cities, Boston and New York, without power. Can you imagine that? The subways, the trains from New York to Boston, all of the people, the food, the cell phones that aren't going to charge, the cell phones that aren't going to work when charged because you can't call anybody. Nothing electrical will work. This is an important point. You should go to the republicbroadcasting.org store and start looking at some of their survival gear. They've got a lot of things there that would help you prepare for something like this. And if you have any questions, call and ask. Okay, we have to go to commercial once again. Thank you so much for listening.
corporate media dominates the American opinion. Finding independent voices that counter this avalanche is becoming increasingly difficult. With the endless corruption running rampant throughout our government, independent voices are needed more than ever to battle the offensive against our freedoms and liberties. As a listener of RBN, no one understands this concept better than you. Now it's up to you to do your part. The time has come for you to take action and begin broadcasting the truth to hundreds or thousands of people every month. Sound impossible? Quite the contrary. With pointed slogans from LibertyStickers.com, you can reach countless sleeping Americans unaware that they live in a real-life wonderland. LibertyStickers.com has a huge inventory of political bumper stickers and messages that reflect the truth about our government, our politicians, and the future of America. With so many in stock, there's one perfect for you. Visit us today at LibertyStickers.com. Again, that's LibertyStickers.com. Do your part. Your voice is important. Let it be heard.
Homeowners, if your lender has gone out of business or sold your transaction to another lender or servicer, you may be the victim of a wrongful foreclosure, resulting in the loss of your home. If you've already lost your home, are in foreclosure, or even in good standing, you can challenge the mortgage transaction's illegal issue, and your property can be restored to you, and your foreclosure can be stopped or reversed, and the mortgage transaction declared unenforceable. State laws, U.S. title codes, the Uniform Commercial Codes, and U.S. Supreme Court rulings have upheld that defective mortgage documentations can reverse or stop foreclosures and enforce property title claims in favor of the homeowner. We are having successes in stopping the process of foreclosure, the enforcement of the foreclosure judgments, the sale of property, and evictions after the sale. We are not attorneys, and we don't give legal advice. We are a professional team of legal researchers, providing forensic mortgage audits and expert witnesses. We have the knowledge to produce the evidence and enforce laws regarding your legal issues. We've been in business for 12 years without a complaint. Consultations are free, and we provide a free title search to confirm if your mortgage has legal defects. Please call 855-253-3748. 855, the number 2, keep it today.
Folks, this is very important information. What's to be said about CBD? AncientLifeOil.com. Our CBD is made from hemp and has 0.003 THC, which means this wonderful product won't get you high, no matter what amount you take. What does CBD do for the body? My hands are tied. But you can Google CBD benefits and be astounded. When you're finished reading, you'll want to log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com and purchase. Life is good when you feel good. People are tired of pain. People are asking for non-GMO organic products to help them with, you fill in the blank. Legal in 49 states, and again, our CBD is made from hemp. Ancient Life Oil is about helping people one by one by one. If you wonder how good the product is, the CEO takes it every day without miss. AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. Have a great day.
Good evening from Boston, Massachusetts. We are coming to you live from the Republic Broadcasting Network, where you can handle the truth. Once again, good evening from Boston, Massachusetts. My name is Frank Allen. We have been discussing the threat of an EMP attack on the United States. I suggest that you visit the store at republicbroadcasting.org and look over the many items they have for survival. It's essential. Preparedness is everything. Knowledge cancels fear. And fear is the biggest thing that starts denial. Denial is what turns people into savages when something like this happens. Because they suddenly realize that this has actually gone down. But tonight, I think we've covered a lot of key issues. If anybody has any questions about EMP strikes and further preparedness, please do not hesitate to call. I have researched for many years on EMP strikes. I have even put together some smaller units for testing purposes. And it is a critical time in our lives. We're going to see things that we have never seen before. We have 3 million targeted individuals in this country who just want to live a normal life. To get up in the morning and not be attacked from a satellite. I'd like you to remember something. Remember those 99 nuclear reactors spread all over the country with no electricity to cool them off. 4.1 million people would be displaced from areas around the nuclear plants as the radioactive clouds spread. Catastrophic. But right now, I would like to thank my listeners. I would like to thank John Statmiller, Yona, and Mike, my producer. And I would like to say good night from Boston, Massachusetts. My name is Frank Allen.
How healthy are your arteries? Deteriorating circulation has a number of early warning signs. High cholesterol, high blood pressure, fingers and or toes often go cold, arms and or legs often go to sleep, sharp diagonal crease in the earlobe, short walks cause cramping or pains in legs, memory is not as good as it used to be, ankles swell late in the day, chest pain after physical exercise or emotional stress. If you experience even one of these symptoms, your circulatory system is crying out for attention. Extendivite is a natural solution to help improve your overall health. Extendivite is not your average heart tonic. To order, call 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com or find us on Amazon.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
You're listening to the Republic Broadcasting Network, because you can handle the truth.